breaking news. We're learning a lot more about the Biden crime family. A former U.S. attorney testifying that the FBI blocked him from investigating Hunter Biden's work for Ukrainian natural gas firm Burisma, and that special counsel David Weiss skipped a briefing on bribery allegations into Joe Biden and Hunter. This is all according to new congressional testimony by former U.S. Attorney Scott Brady. It also comes after Senator Chuck Grassley yesterday revealed the FBI maintained more than 40 confidential human sources out of various field offices across the country who provided criminal information relating to Joe Biden, James Biden, and Hunter Biden.
10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, 10% for the big guy. I'm creepy and I'm sleepy. I swore that she was 18. Come on, Jack. Biden crime family. Neat. Creep. Thief.
Sometimes I wish I was live during the memes. I've seen that. Sometimes I wish I was live because I'm like, I'm busting a gut here watching that. 10%. I swore that she was 18. I love it. I love it. And I love you. We have such a great time on this show, and we are winning, baby. We are winning. What a wonderful week. And we are going to have a great show. It is Free for All Friday, October 27th, 2023. Democrats have now officially announced, a Democrat congressman has officially announced that he will be running against Joe Biden for president. What's his rationale? We'll cover it all in the show. FBI is reluctant to aggressively pursue Joe Biden bribery allegations in connection to Ukraine bombshell testimony. U.S. attorney reveals Congress is back to work, baby, and the New York Times is freaking out. One of the best members of Congress, the best memer of Congress, will be joining the show, Mike Collins, for a meme review. My name is Benny Johnson, and this is The Benny Show. We have been rocking and rolling this week. We got a brand new House Speaker. We have a brand new energy supply, right? Heading into the weekend. We are ready to rock. We are ready to roll. Congress is back in business. I'm a big fan of Mike Johnson. I'm going to tell everyone that he is a relative. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. We've decided that we're going to thread this narrative. I have no idea if I'm related to Mike Johnson, but I'm just going to start telling people that. Okay, I don't know if I'm related to him, but I'm just going to start telling people that. We got the energy back. And why do we have the energy? Because, ladies and gentlemen, we are eating correctly. We're getting our protein. That's why we use Moink Box. Moink is the company that I use to make sure that my family is fed, to make sure that we are strong, to make sure that we are getting our protein. So important to get your protein. Baby, it's like literally the number one thing that could change your life is actually eating enough protein. I'm telling you. Why do you think they want to stop us from having red meat? Why do you think they want to try and keep us from having real food? Protein, man, it makes you strong. Ladies and gentlemen, Moink is who I use to make sure that my family gets true American farmer protein right to our doorstep. Grass-fed beef and lamb, pasteurized pork, chicken, sustainable wild-caught Alaskan salmon straight to my door. Moink farmers farm exactly like your grandparents did. Keep America farming by signing up for moinkbox.com/Benny right now. Listeners of this show get a free ground beef for a year. That's 1 year of the best ground beef you have ever had. I made hamburgers out of it last weekend. Spelled Moink, MOINK.com/Benny. Let's go, baby. Dean Phillips. You ever heard of this guy? Dean Phillips is a member of Congress. He's a Democrat. And he says, yo, we're done. We're done with Joe Biden. We're done. We're this guy sucks. I am running against Joe Biden. Now, there are a lot of reasons why Dean Phillips could run against Joe Biden, and we enumerate them on this show all the time. And by the way, we will go through Joe Biden's greatest hits over the last week, because it actually, you begin to lose track if you don't actually catalog all of them, and you put them in order, and you realize, man, dude, this is just straight up elder abuse, what they're doing to him. And his team knows it. We actually have the image that shows you. We have clipped the image. Everyone missed it but us. We caught the one image that shows you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that every one of these people know what they are doing to Joe Biden is wrong. It's evil. But Dean Phillips is a member of Congress. He is an elected Democrat, been elected 4 terms in a row, and he has announced that he is running against Joe Biden. Here's why.
Are you running for president?
I am. I have to. I think President Biden has done a spectacular job for our country, but it's not about the past. This is an election about the future. I will not sit still. I will not be quiet in the face of numbers that are so clearly saying that we're going to be facing an emergency next November.
Facing an emergency. So what are those numbers exactly? What are those numbers exactly? The great Jerry is actually helping me run the show today. So big old compliments to Jerry. Rolls-Royce is out. Check this out from Breitbart. Joe Biden's approval rating among Democrats sinks 11 points to record low in 1 month. Oh, baby. Let's go. This is what Dean Phillips is talking about, by the way.
I want to thank the Israelis and the and President Sisi of Egypt for working with the United States to make sure that food, water, and medical supplies are getting through to innocent people.
Jerry, you can't just play a clip randomly, dude. Jerry, I just called you out, buddy. You can't just play the clip randomly over me. I know there's plenty of people who want to shut me up. Joe Biden just got some chin music in there. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. That was one of Joe Biden's dumber things, mixing up the Palestinians with the Egyptians. But we will play those clips in short order. Let's read the article first here from Breitbart. Biden's approval rating among his party has plummeted from 86% to a record low of 75% in his own party as Democrats struggle with large swaths of support for Palestinians who sympathize with Hamas terrorists. So they're in a really bad position here because Democrats need the coalition of the dispossessed in order to win. They need to cobble together all of the people who, the oppressors versus the oppressed. They want to cobble together all of the people who have been lied to and told that they are oppressed in this country, and that's how they create their coalition, right, to move forward and govern. But the issue is there that Jewish people who predominantly vote Democrat by like 80% are saying, wait a second, why are you funding Iran and Hamas? And then Muslim people in America are saying, wait a second, why are you Zionists? Why are you supporting Israel? A genocide state, whatever, apartheid state, and you're not going to be able to win. You won't be able to win there. If that's your coalition, right, to try and like cobble that together, you're not going to be able to win. Along with a ton of other things that make absolutely no sense. This is what George Orwell called doublespeak in 1984. In 1984, George Orwell talks directly about like doublespeak is the people who hold two contravailing ideas in their brain at the same time. Have you ever seen those Queers for Palestine posters? You ever seen those people holding up like gays for Palestine, Palestinian liberation? Like, what are you talking about, man? Palestine is under Sharia law. They execute gay people there. They do. They have this long history of it. That's called doublethink, right? That's the point that we've reached here. That's our breaking point, where what the ideas in your brain don't make sense. This just means you've been propagandized to and lied to so very much. You have no clue what's actually going on, and it's why people are proposing a new scholarship to send alphabet people to Gaza to see for them, to see for themselves. I saw an image about that the other day. Like, hey, free trip to Gaza. Free trip to Gaza. Any takers? Well, no. But then why are you marching in the streets? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And so it's just like nonsensical intersectional hierarchy gobbledygook. People are nuts. So now the polling is showing the cracking of that coalition, because instead of just running as a party of Americans and America first, they're running as the party of the dispossessed, and these people are not going to get along, right? Biden is at risk of alienating members of his own party with his unequivocal support of Israel, which has carried long, weak bombardment of the siege in Gaza, this according to the polling. An annual Gallup poll conducted in February found that Democrats sympathize more with Palestinians than Israelis. The divide is particularly stark between generations. Less than half of Gen Z and millennials believe the U.S. should publicly support Israel. Yikes. Well, you know what? There are consequences to bringing forth open anti-Semitism in all of our nation's highest vaulted halls of learning. There are consequences to this. And these are your consequences, right? If you create icons out of people like AOC and Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar, who are open, vicious, sewerish, like open sewers of anti-Semitism, AOC straight up saying that Israel shouldn't exist, right? One of her first interviews saying Israel shouldn't exist. Well, this is what you're going to get. And now you can see that the coalition that Joe Biden thought that he had in hand, right? Because Joe Biden has done everything he can to like utterly bend his old disease, arthritic knees to the far left flank of his party. Now it's falling to pieces because these people just don't get along anyway because they're deeply unhappy individuals, right? It's pointless to try and please them. You're just better to be America first. It's better to just not try and please these people, right? Because they're by nature unhappy people. Marxists are by nature deeply unhappy individuals. Joe Biden trying to please the Marxists doesn't work. Now he's getting primaried by his own side. Here's the announcement of Dean Phillips on X. Dean Phillips, I am running for president. Dean Phillips is from Minnesota, and he is saying, we're done. We're done with Joe Biden. He's saying that Joe Biden cannot win, and that Joe Biden is going to effectively hand the White House back to Donald Trump. New York Times is saying the exact same thing, too, this morning. It's awesome. I didn't set out to enter this race, but it looks like our current course, Democrats will lose to Trump. I'm reading to you directly from Dean Phillips here. And Trump will be our president again. President Biden's a good man, somebody that I respect. I understand other Democrats don't want me to run against him, and that's why we're here. This is a last-minute campaign, but a desperate times call for desperate measures. If President Biden is the Democrat nominee, we face an unacceptable risk of Trump being back in the White House. Salty, salty, salty tis. As I've been listening to voters for the past few weeks, it's been really heartening to hear the support. People know in their hearts that it's time for a change. Oh, man. So even Democrats are straight up nuking Joe Biden, saying that Joe Biden will deliver the White House back to Donald Trump. Now, it doesn't take genius to obviously see this. It's like empirical when you watch Joe Biden. For instance, this week, Joe Biden walked out on stage during an event at the White House and didn't know who he was or where he was. I kid you not. Now, we use sometimes entertaining and flowery language on the show. I mean, Joe Biden doesn't know who he is or where he is. There is no other way to interpret this clip. Check out this clip K3. Jerry.
Good afternoon, folks. I'm not introducing me. Mark is. I forgot Mark. I went straight to the podium. I apologize.
No problem. Good afternoon.
I'm not introducing. Wait a minute. Who's me? Who is me? If Joe Biden showed up for your Thanksgiving, what would you do? Let me know in the comment section. What if Joe Biden wandered in for your family Thanksgiving? If Joe Biden wandered in and this old man, dementia is a real thing, man. I had dementia. My grandfather had dementia. It's tough to see, tough to see. And members of my family that really lost touch with reality. Some old guy wanders in off the street, shuffles in, has a warm Werther's Original in his pocket. His teeth are falling out. His skin's sagging off his face. His hair's plastic. He shuffles in like a little robot and he sits down at your Thanksgiving table. And he goes, "Who's me? I'm me. Am I me? I'm not supposed to be here." What do you do? Do you make that guy president? I was no. Do you put that guy in charge? Do you let him drive a car? Do you even let him run the garbage disposal? No, you don't. But this is what we're doing. And people are being disposed of because of Joe Biden's incompetence, particularly in the Middle East right now, but also in Ukraine. Joe Biden telling Hamas, as they fire rockets at Israel, that they need to learn to shoot straight. This happened over the last 7 days.
And I'm not suggesting that Hamas deliberately did it either. That's that old thing, got to know how to shoot straight. And it's not the first time Hamas has launched something that didn't function.
Huh? So you tell me, you come over and you're like, "Benny, there's this horrible person is shooting a gun at me." And I go, "That's awful. They keep missing, thankfully." And I go, "That person needs to learn how to shoot straight." What does that mean? What does that mean? That means I want them to aim better and to hit you? It's awful. What kind of person says something like that? Just out of their minds. Out of their minds, baby. They got nothing going on. And you can see that in clips like, again, like these are just a small sampling of over the last 7 days. Over the last 7 days, what Joe Biden has done on camera. What happens to Joe Biden off camera? We'll get there in a second. Here's Joe Biden answering a question on the plane, and it's very important to look at Kirby and to look at Blinken while Joe Biden's talking, and also to look at whatever is going on with Joe Biden's chin, and to be like, this isn't English. Watch.
Virtually every mass shooting, every circumstance where a large number of people have been victimized and lost, I've spoken to. I learned a long time ago what you've all learned in your life. When someone's going through something that is beyond their comprehension, that they ever thought they'd have to go through. If they see someone who they think understands that maybe they're through something not the same but similar.
What's wrong with your chin? What is wrong with your chin? Why does your chin do that? Why does your chin look like chipmunk testicles are on your face? Doesn't make any sense. Joe Biden's chins. Where's Joe Biden's chins? Like, what's happening here? Jerry, can you put up that image ALX just sent in? Pop that up there. I'll show you that. Look at this. This is amazing. Look at this. Thank you, Jerry. This is awesome. Like, look at that. That's John Kirby, the Pentagon spokesperson, and that's Anthony Blinken, Secretary of State. As Joe Biden is saying those things. One, look at Joe Biden. Woof. Look at Joe Biden. He looks like a wax Madame Tussauds statue that is melting. And look at John Kirby and look at the State Department, guy in charge of the State Department, Anthony Blinken. They know. They know. They are aware that what they are doing is obviously clearly wrong, evil, clearly immoral, and that is spiraling us quickly towards World War III. You would assume that the man who is in charge, of the most powerful military in the world, most powerful military mankind has ever known, would be able to stay awake while he's meeting with the president of Israel. Kind of important. You guys know my stance on this. I'm anti-war. I don't like the wars in Iraq or Afghanistan. What exactly good did it do? The U.S. had to bomb sites of terrorists last night. So we effectively started a war with Iran last night because of Joe Biden. Remember, Joe Biden's the guy who told us that he'd bring norms and democracy back. Oh yeah? Here's your norms and democracy. America is once again embroiled in the Middle East, bombing Iran and quickly escalating a war with Iran. Okay? There's your norms. How you like that, libs? Check out Joe Biden. This didn't get enough play. Joe Biden literally falling asleep with Bibi Netanyahu when he was meeting with him. Joe Biden had to have his note card, had to have his handy note card to tell him who he was talking with. And then Joe Biden just falls asleep. You feel really bad for Bibi Netanyahu in this clip. This is the guy. This is the guy in charge. Watch.
Taking too much time, but the point is this, that I was deeply saddened and outraged by the explosion at the hospital in Gaza yesterday. And based on what I've seen, it appears as though it was done by the other team, not you. But there's a lot of people out there not sure. So we've got to overcome a lot of things. And it also means encouraging life-saving capacity to help the Palestinians who are innocent.
You feel really bad for Netanyahu there. You're like, my God, whoa. Do you see him going looking around nervously? God, give me Trump back, please. I'll do anything. I will do anything. Get me Trump back now. Joe Biden can't even get through speeches, man. He can't even get through speeches without having his own situations that he must go take care of. Now, we checked. There were no situations going on here, not that we know of, right? You'd assume that it'd be reported. But in mid-speech this week, again, I need to state this. I need to state this. This is just the last 7 days, okay? These are just the last 7 days of Joe Biden. In the middle of the speech, Joe Biden goes, I got a situation going on down below, and I gotta get out of here. And then he shuffles off. Like, did Joe Biden have a senior moment? Did he have a bathroom moment? Did he have an adult moment? Like, what is this? It doesn't instill confidence, that's for sure. Watch.
I apologize. I have to go to the situation room with another issue I have to deal with. Thank you.
Once he whispers. He whispers his commentary. I'm sorry, I have to go to the situation room. He doesn't have the energy to even project his voice at all, unless of course it's a rambling, screaming, blood-soaked Hitlerian diatribe against his own countrymen. Joe Biden will never talk about Hamas the way that he talks about MAGA, but that shows you exactly who they see as the problem. And we see Joe Biden as the problem. I mean, generally because we are America first, and we at the very least, even if America is led by a Democrat, you want it to be a Democrat that is some type of mooring or connection with reality. I'll play you one final clip here. Now, this didn't happen in the last 7 days. This happened a month ago. But in this bewildering and utterly jaw-dropping moment, in the middle of a live TV interview, Joe Biden just gets up and walks off stage. Just up and wanders off. Now, Joe Biden is a fossil barnacle, been on the bottom of the USS Washington, D.C. ship for nigh on 70 years. Joe Biden is an ancient individual who has done his fair share of TV hits. Joe Biden, it's be hard to find somebody who's been on TV and done more TV hits than Joe Biden. Joe Biden knows damn well you don't get up and walk off in the middle of the interview. Yet here we have, and we're left to have effectively one assumption here, which is that Joe Biden had a oops, I crap my pants moment. That Joe Biden had an adult accident and needed to shuffle quickly offset out of embarrassment. That is the only explanation here. Or full-blown dementia. Both. Watch.
Well, and the ones that didn't vote for your bills but run on them.
That's
too.
right.
Mr. President, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It's
great to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Don't go anywhere. It's a very exciting day around here. We'll have reaction and analysis to everything we just heard.
Oh. I mean, again, you just got to ask. I hate playing this game, but what if Trump, right? What if Trump? What if Trump ended speeches in the middle of his speech and just wobbled on? What if Trump couldn't put words together? What if Trump fell asleep meeting Netanyahu? What if Trump just wandered off, didn't even take the mic off, wandered out? The cameras were rolling. Give that cameraman, by the way, a Pulitzer, to punch to the wide shot so you could see Joe Biden shuffling off with the full back end of Depends. Good for you, man. Way to go, cameraman. Very, very smart move. It is troubling. As an American, as a patriot, you don't want to see your country in such decline, but it's why we got to fix this place. It's why we got to be motivated. And we're going to be motivated. And we are motivated, ladies and gentlemen. We are back on track. Joe Biden's not. Gallup, Biden's approval rating dropped 37% to near record low. Holy smokes. Let's break out this new poll. This is according to Gallup. Biden's rating has dropped 37% to new record low, the lowest it has ever been. Scroll on down there, Jerry. Let's show the actual data visualization. You can see here in the first chart that Joe Biden has never, ever, ever had a lower approval. I mean, this is truly unbelievable. Not even the suicidal Afghanistan pullout here. Check out where they break out Republicans and Democrats. This one, Jerry. Look at this. Look at the Democrat downswing. Look at Democrats, the blue line up here, right? And this sort of holds constant for, Republicans or Democrats, whoever's president, you're going to have like a muddy middle. This is awful. Independents, 35%, 75%, 5%. These are beyond. This is outside of the range of fraud. Okay? Joe Biden's unpopularity. What are they got to do? What are they got to do? What they got to do with the guy? People running for president against Joe Biden. One of the guys named Senk, and he's a popular YouTuber, runs a site called The Young Turks, and he's running against Joe Biden. Biden's down to 37%. He's seizing on that Gallup poll. Biden's down 37%. No way an incumbent wins at 37%. If you're not familiar with this guy, he's like this absolute wild-eyed, far left, fringe, radical dude who's made his bones screaming on YouTube. A site called The Young Turks. But he's announced he's running for president against Joe Biden. Senk wasn't born in this country, so I don't know how it's going to work. But nonetheless, he is a political handicapper and a pretty smart tactician. I mean, he's been right about a couple of things. And he's saying there ain't no way. You're not going to win with 37%. So you got other problems for Joe Biden. You got other issues for Joe Biden. You're starting to see the cracks in the facade here. Joe Biden was, of course, a creation of the FBI. The FBI created Joe Biden by effectively not prosecuting or investigating Joe Biden, even though they had 40 undercover informants. There are less informants inside of the mob or the Sinaloa cartel or inside of actual criminal. Well, the Biden family is a criminal organization, but what we would understand as a criminal organization. The FBI has 40 undercover informants in the Biden crime family, yet they wouldn't charge him? Oh my. Well, why exactly is that? Former U.S. Attorney Scott Brady was tasked with investigating Ukrainian corruption, which expanded to Hunter Biden's role in Burisma. During Brady's interview with FBI with Biden-connected Ukraine dealings, he discovered the FBI 1023 form detailing an alleged Biden bribery scheme. He told Judiciary Committee that there was reluctance by the FBI to pursue Biden because they want blackmail on the guy. What is enlightenment? Enlightenment for us is understanding. I'm going to put on a t-shirt. I'm going to put it on a bumper sticker. All governments are criminal cartels. Okay? We should look at governments as the mob. They are a cartel with unlimited resources to violence and power. They are a criminal organ that protects itself and then it has an antibody, violent reaction towards people like Donald Trump, who said about deconstructing the criminal organization. Firing James Comey is a good example. That's the deconstruction. That's the offing of a mob boss, right? You fire James Comey. That's what Donald Trump did. And so the FBI, much like a criminal organization, much like the mob sitting there shining their pipes, right? Pay up or else, the FBI is going to, this is really valuable to have this information on Joe Biden. You could destroy Joe Biden in one fell swoop. So what does that mean when you're in charge of the president of the United States? That means you're president. That means you're in charge. You're in charge of the most powerful man on earth. Well, that means you're in charge, actually. If you have leverage over this guy, then that means you're running the show. Doesn't the FBI want that? Of course they want that. That's precisely why they destroyed Donald Trump. They didn't have leverage on him. Maybe the first president in our lifetime that they didn't have leverage on him. This is why they destroyed Richard Nixon. Richard Nixon was too powerful. They set that dude up. Same thing with JFK. Okay? The tactics are the exact same. There's assassination by different measures. Okay? They're doing the same thing to Donald Trump. Nixon, JFK, Trump. Party doesn't matter. Party doesn't matter at all. It's leverage over power. Donald Trump wouldn't give the FBI their brand new little headquarters that they wanted. Donald Trump fired James Comey and fired a bunch of FBI agents and sicked prosecutors on their asses for trying to rig elections. Don't worry, we'll stop Donald Trump from becoming president. This is how the system works. Enlightenment is understanding that all governments, all organized governments are corrupt cartels, and that the people who represent them are Muppets. Joe Biden is a Muppet, utterly controlled by the FBI. Jim Jordan going in, effectively talking about this meeting with this federal prosecutor who's exposing this entire regime. And also, why is this happening? Is this happening because they are also kicking? So the Democrat Party is kicking Joe Biden, kicking Joe Biden in the nuts, and now the deep state is tossing Joe Biden right over the barrel. So he's getting it from both sides here. Jim Jordan saying it's going to get worse. Watch.
On the issue of what we found out about these 40, people that real sources to the FBI, and you read the story about how it was not brought to the attention, how the FBI and the DOJ seemed to do nothing about it. This is where the first 1023 form came, isn't it?
Right, and all that finding that Mr. Grassley talked about, Senator Grassley talked about, was buttressed by what we learned in the deposition with U.S. Attorney Scott Brady earlier this week. Because Mr. Brady was tasked by the Attorney General of the United States on January 3rd, 2020, Sean, to be the clearinghouse for all information related to Hunter Biden and the investigation and Ukraine. And so he goes to the FBI, Mr. Brady does, and says, give me that information. I want to take a look at it. We'll get it to the proper U.S. attorney who's handling the investigative work. And the FBI didn't tell him about the confidential human source for 6 months.
So, one, Hannity, get your interview questions right. Ask sharper questions, dude. And two, Hannity was interviewing the new Speaker of the House last night, Mike Johnson. I'm just going to claim that this is I'm going to claim, what is Mike Johnson's relation to me? He is my long lost brother. He's my long lost brother. I don't think he's old enough to be my father. Mike Johnson, my long lost brother. Brother from another mother. Mike Johnson was interviewed last night, asked directly about the impeachment of Joe Biden. You'll love this answer. Check it out.
And as John Adams said, facts are stubborn things. They're hard to ignore. I believe the documents are proving all that. As my good brother Jamie Comer often says, the bank records don't lie. So we have the receipts on so much of this now. It's a real problem. That's the reason that we shifted into the impeachment inquiry stage on the president himself. Because if in fact all the evidence leads to where we believe it will, that's very likely impeachable offenses. That's listed as a cause for impeachment in the Constitution. Bribery and other high crimes and misdemeanors. Bribery is listed there, and it looks and smells a lot like that. And I think the evidence, we're going to follow the truth where it leads. We're going to engage in due process because, again, we're the rule of law party. I know people are getting anxious and they're getting restless and they just want somebody to be impeached, but that's not. We don't do that like the other team. We have to base it upon the evidence, and the evidence is coming together. We'll see where it leads.
So that's sharp, man. I loved that interview. Mike Johnson saying treason and bribery are impeachable offenses. It's almost like Mike Johnson watches the show. And we have been in contact with Mike Johnson, and we've also been in contact with Jim Jordan, and Jim Jordan will be joining our show on Thursday. Is that correct, Alex? On Thursday, next Thursday. Jim Jordan will be here live. And according to Jim Jordan's team, they're going to have some big news to break on this show. We are quite excited for that. So buckle up, baby. Get ready. And remember, Team Mike Johnson, big fans of what we're doing here. And I think we'll be able to bring you alive with the Speaker of the House quite soon. We're working on it. Okay? We're working on it. We got something fun in the mix, ladies and gentlemen. So please always make sure that you stay connected with us. Stay connected with us by using Patriot Mobile. For the last 10 years, Patriot Mobile has been America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. Trust me, it is the only one. We use it at our site. We use it. My entire team uses Patriot Mobile. We use it because it keeps us connected. They're a dependable service, and they also don't fund the left. That's really important when you're talking, using it for free speech purposes. In a breaking news environment like this, we want to make sure that you stay connected. Go to patriotmobile.com/Benny or call 972-PATRIOT. Get free activation today with the offer code Benny. Join me, make the switch today. patriotmobile.com/Benny, patriotmobile.com/Benny. So Jim Jordan is sort of peeling the onion layer back here about what this U.S. Attorney Scott Brady had to say. So this guy is now effectively spilling the hot tea on Joe Biden's lap, saying, listen, man, the FBI withheld, effectively, Joe Biden, they know that Joe Biden is guilty. They have a mountain of evidence on Joe Biden, and the FBI is withholding that evidence because they want leverage over Joe Biden. This is a classic blackmail operation. And this is exactly why they had to destroy Donald Trump, because they didn't have blackmail on Donald Trump. They had to fabricate something. They have real crimes on Joe Biden. The Joe Biden investigation was started as a foreign agent's money laundering investigation, and it's been whittled down to like one gun charge. How the hell does that work? None of the district attorneys are agreeing to charge Hunter Biden. How's that work? State protection, baby. Joe Biden is a state asset, dead set against you. And a constant reminder that we always say on this program, reminder, nothing that's happening in Iran, nothing's happening in China, nothing's happening in Russia is a threat to you. More than, even remotely as close to, your own government, who sees you as an enemy. Nothing. Your own government that sees you, the American people, with free will, free speech, and free thinking, and a free vote as the enemy, that is the greatest threat to you, your life, our stability, and our prosperity, and our freedom in this country. Jim Jordan knows it. That's why these guys are going in. They're going in. The investigations are back on the menu, baby. Watch.
January 3rd, 2020, Scott Brady, U.S. Attorney in Pennsylvania, is tasked with this by the United States Attorney General. We interviewed Mr. Brady. He did this for 10 months during 2020, and it was so interesting what he had to say, because I asked him the question. I said, when did you learn about the laptop? Now, remember, he gets a job on January 3rd, 2020. And he tells the FBI, give us information, we'll assess it, we'll be the clearinghouse, just like the Attorney General has asked us to do. We'll get that to the proper U.S. attorney so they can proceed with their investigations. He asked the FBI to give him information. He didn't learn about the laptop until it came public in the New York Post story, October 14th. So for 10 months, they kept that information from him.
So Jim Jordan is getting back into the... We wanted Jim Jordan as Speaker. The New York Times has an amazing article up this morning. Trumpism is running the House. We wanted Jim Jordan as Speaker. What we ended up getting is a Jim Jordan protege as Speaker. Mike Johnson was Jim Jordan's little trainee. Jim Jordan was his mentor. So what does that say? New York Times, Trumpism is running the House. How you like this? How you like that for bouncing into your weekend? How you like that? Isn't that a nice little... Look at that cover image. Jerry, go back up to there. Is the New York Times memeing, Jerry? Come on, baby. You got a MAGA hat sitting on the speaker's chair? Yo! This is by the editorial board of the New York Times. Oh, man. This is pretty spectacular. The article goes on to effectively say that Donald Trump effectively runs the House of Representatives and chose the next speaker. Americans in the world are starting to get to know Mike Johnson, second in line to the presidency. In troubling introduction, Donald Trump may not be in the White House, but Trumpism and it's as an institution has transcended the man and provided the operating principles of the House Republicans and the Republican Party. Oh, yes, thank you. Into my veins. Into my veins. We're making all the right enemies, okay? And it's going to get worse for Joe Biden. We're going to get it's going to get worse. We just want to rip through one or two more headlines here, very important. dailymail.com. The $10 million bribe that was used to leverage the Biden family. They got the tapes, baby. They got the audio tapes, baby. I mean, come on. How are you going to get out of this? How are you going to get out of this? This is why I was like putting the full weight of this show and all of our muscles and putting our shoulder to the wheel on getting a House Speaker, because we have to get to the bottom of this. This family is guilty, and they are being protected, of course, by a criminal racket. The FBI is a mob man. The FBI is muscle for the mob. They're protecting Joe Biden. The FD 1023, there is audio tape of Joe Biden taking $10 million worth of bribes. 5 for him, 5 for his son. This is 100% and completely credible, and the FBI knows it. Does the FBI have the tapes? That's such an important question. Jim Jordan, go in.
They also kept from him for 6 months the confidential human source who was the basis for the 1023 form, where it talked about Burisma paying the Bidens all this money. They figured out there was this source. They got to interview the source, and the source told them, based on their interview with the confidential human source, they said, we found him or her to be credible. So this is how bad it was when the FBI was pushing back on the investigation.
So what will happen in the coming days? Well, during some of the speaker turmoil, where that sort of overtook the news cycle, James Comer dropped the receipts here. James Comer provided the IRS, the banking screenshots of Joe Biden getting $200,000 from his brother. Now, here's your hard evidence. Remember, there's all these lawyers and all these wordsmiths, right? All these PR operations that Democrats use. You can't lie your way out of this one. You have the physical proof of influence peddling here. So can anybody ask a question as to like, why is there no evidence of Joe Biden giving anyone a loan, right? This is what James Comer is now demanding. We've covered the $200,000 check. Where's the evidence that Joe Biden gave anyone a loan? So Comer is now really pushing and saying, thank God we are back to work. Go.
Jim Biden, and we have his personal bank records, I can say with confidence, had no money to pay Joe Biden back other than that $200,000 wire that came from AmeriCorps Health Company. So either Joe Biden got paid directly $200,000 from his brother as part of a kickback or a cut from the influence peddling scheme, or Joe Biden did loan his brother money, but his brother couldn't have paid it back without the influence peddling scheme. And there are bankruptcy court documents that spell meticulously exactly what Jim Biden did to receive that money. He went to AmeriCorps Health knowing that they were in bad financial shape and said, if you pay me money, I can use my brother's contacts in the Middle East to get you all the capital you need to make you solvent again. That's called influence peddling. And that's what we've proven, that Joe Biden benefited. He either made $200,000 or he didn't lose $200,000. Either way, he's $200,000 ahead because of his influence peddling scheme.
It's not just James Comer. Nancy Mace is saying, you don't understand, guys. This is the first check. You don't get it. We have the hot cakes on Biden. He's had sticky fingers into the pie. Nancy Mace, go.
But this is just the first check. There are going to be multiple checks that come out during this process where we're going to expose the Joe Biden crime syndicate. Some might even call it mafia-esque, what they've done here. We're talking about millions and millions of dollars selling out our nation to our adversaries. I mean, I've seen in SARS reports bank accounts of grandchildren with a lot of money, significant sums of money from communist China. And how does this happen? This happens when you sell your country out.
How do you impeach a president? Treason, bribery. High crimes and misdemeanors. That's the old Clinton thing. Like, yes, that's in the Constitution, but that's down the line, baby. Treason and bribery is how you impeach a president. Check this out. Miranda Devine. James Comer has asked the White House to provide evidence to back their claim that the $200,000 check from Biden to his brother James was a repayment. Remember, James Biden got $200,000 from this company he was defrauding, and he shoved that directly into Joe Biden's bank account. Like, same day. Boom. It's a bribe, baby. It's a bribe. House Oversight Committee James Comer has demanded Thursday President Biden provide applicable loan documents. The IRS file regarding the $200,000 loan repayment. White House and James Biden, Joe's brother, denied $200,000 check James gave to Joe was due for pre-existing business relationship. Where the hell is the state of Florida? I like my state. I like that Republicans are hard in charge in the state. This all was going on. This company was founded in Florida. So where is our district attorney opening up this prosecution against Joe Biden? There's only so much Congress can do. Congress is not in charge of the DOJ. Where's the district attorney? Where's the attorney opening up this case for fraud and bribery? You can do it here in Florida. Trust me, ladies and gentlemen, we've been doing our research. We're going to start putting extreme pressure on this show on the people who are Republican representatives for us, where these crimes took place, and they have jurisdiction, and they can open up this investigation tomorrow on Joe Biden and his brother Jim. This took place in Florida. This should be happening. Take your medicine, baby. You guys made the rules. Cry, bitch, moan, all you want. You made the rules. You know it's dangerous. You know that like the alarm bells are going off when CNN actually does reports on these kind of things. CNN did a report that had our jaw dragging on the floor about the corruption of Joe Biden and James Biden, and it's worth replaying. Watch.
Healthcare entrepreneur Michael Frey told CNN Joe Biden's other brother, James, broke financial promises he made while referencing the Biden name. Frey's company filed a lawsuit alleging fraud by James Biden, who denied the claims. Frey spoke to CNN before the lawsuit settled in 2020.
Everything was on the Biden name, and so we took that to heart.
James Biden was also named in a lawsuit filed in July. He allegedly received about $600,000 in loans in 2018 from a company he worked with, AmeriCorps Health, based upon representations that his last name Biden could open doors and that he could obtain a large investment from the Middle East based on his political connections. The suit states that the investment was never delivered. The lawsuit was settled, though James Biden denied the allegations in court filings. He did not respond to a request for comment.
You can see like the reaction in the White House when that happens, because you know how the media works, right? Like the Democrats are fine as long as this shrinking little encased, calcified bubble remains. The Iron Dome of media remains over the top of their base of support, okay? As long as Democrats are insulated from actual news, real news, okay? They can't have people waking up on their own side. We are, like, us as a movement are way more informed than any Democrat. Actually, a lot of polling, like tons of polling and scientific studies show this. Conservatives, Republicans, like we're way more informed. We look at the news skeptically. We try as hard as we can on this program to critique Republicans, Democrats. You deserve to know, like the jackasses who are like making dumb decisions for our lives. You deserve to know about all of them. All right? Not big fans of Mitch McConnell on this program, as you know. So you are more informed. When CNN does a piece like that, a hit piece like that, not even a hit piece, just like literal news about the Biden family, they are freaking out, okay? They are freaking out. Doc Brown, right? When the little flaming car goes through the, lights his lab on fire. Think about Back to the Future. I don't know why. Maybe that's what I should go to for as Halloween. I don't know. Marty McFly, Doc Brown. That's what he does. That's what the White House does. When they see a report like that, like, oh my God, how do we solve it? We can't stop it. And you can't stop the memes. And we are very honored right now to tell you that for the first time in American history, and this is historic, ladies and gentlemen, first time in American history, we don't have a member of Congress on this show. We have a memer of Congress on this show. A great man, a man from the fine and honorable Georgia 10th Congressional District, Congressman Mike Collins, the first memer of Congress, joins the program now. Congressman, it's an honor to have you on the program. Truly. And we thank you for your fighting the meme wars.
Hey, I'm glad to be on. Appreciate it. You know, we're on site in the district. We were doing some tours this morning, so I look a little naked behind me. I don't have my usual stuff. So, but we're glad to be on the show. Appreciate you having us.
So I saw this in my timeline. I got to be honest. I hadn't followed your work that closely, and then I suddenly see you using a piece of whiteout to change your cards as an official memer of Congress, and it looked like this. And I was like, wow, this guy's going places.
Well, the whiteout now, I think it dates me. I mean, you know, that's something back from the old typewriter days. And so it kind of shows how old I am, unfortunately.
Can you tell me your shift into the meme world? And you have been spotted bringing memes in to the Republican conference. You've been using meme warfare. Here is a shot of you wandering through the halls with printed out memes. This is our love language. You must know, Congressman. And so we say, one, thank you for using memes. Republicans should use them more often. They're what the internet is built on. Two, why this shift towards memanic warfare? You
know, we've had what we call the meme wall in our office, where we poke fun at each other. And, you know, if you get on the meme wall, it's a good thing. And so it's kind of been in our culture. But we just haven't had the exposure that we've had since, you know, the speaker was vacated, and we had a little idle time and our comms director actually got married and took a week off. So, we had free reign of everything. So there was it was a perfect storm, and showcased a lot of what we like to do, a little bit of humor. We're from the South. We do know it's serious business in DC, but we also like to have just a tad bit of fun while we're doing it.
Did you kick out the speaker? Yes. What did it cost? Did it cost everything? How's your fellow Southerner Mike Johnson treating you?
You know what? I think we've got an incredible new Speaker of the House. When you look at Mike Johnson, he's not just a solid conservative, but he is an evangelical family man that is solid as a rock. He's not out there trying to be the rock star in front of all the cameras. This guy just works. And a lot of what you've been talking about earlier through that Judiciary Committee, that guy's been sitting right there with Jordan, and a constitutional lawyer, and he knows his stuff. So excited to have him. Great to be back at work. We need to be doing the people's business, and we're finally back at it.
And so I saw, of course, you voted for and endorsed Mike Johnson. And can you please tell me what will be some of the first orders of business here? There's some people who are like, I say give the man time. Like, everyone calm down. I sent out a tweet this morning. Like, everyone calm down. He's been in the office for 12 hours. What are going to be some of the first orders of business?
Well, we've had a number of the appropriation bills teed up and ready to go. It's just time to get them on the floor, get them amended, and get final passage on them so that we can get those over to the Senate, because we've got a timeline. November the 17th that's probably my favorite one. I mean, I'm like Larry the Cable Guy, man. That's just funny right there. I don't care who you are. It's just
say the line.
Grew up. Yeah, say the line. Say it. Speaker's not elected. So yeah.
Do these come from you, Congressman, or do they come from your staff?
A lot of, if you see stuff that's old school, it's stuff that I say off the cuff, especially when we're in the office or I'm walking around with the chief and the deputy and comms people. But, I get help from my friends. I do have a little meme machine that I can just crank and it'll spit out a meme. But I get help from them. I mean, people know that. So.
Okay. Speaker Collins is the only way out. Didn't you throw your hat in for Speaker? Am I misremembering this?
No, you're exactly right. I mean, we had a list of I think 12 things that we put out there, that we would like to be seen, and that if we were to get elected Speaker, man, we were going to do that. Everything from car mines at conference, which they actually had the night before last, or 2 nights ago now. To space where I could park one of my 18-wheelers, if I brought it up, since I'm in the trucking business. So I'm not taking credit for that one. I wouldn't have done that.
That's a really good face swap there. We have an internal meme team here, and they're telling me that is a spectacular face swap. We do have a bit of breaking news. Jamal Bowman obviously got himself a Hunter Biden level deal for pulling the fire alarm and smashing all of the, we saw the video yesterday, tore down all the emergency signs and yanked the fire alarm. You're saying jail, apology letter?
But so truthfully, why is he not in jail? Because he was interrupting the procession in Congress.
Yes.
The House. I mean, we were literally going to vote. There's no difference in that and what went on, for January the 6th, from a DOJ standpoint, or at least I would think so. So,
yeah.
Yeah, we were going into conference on that one. They were just not quite the right direction, but, it was part of it.
So, some of the reporters said you didn't go to the right room, so you had to carry them across Congress. But a burden worth having. We have just done an entire show, obviously, on some of the major cracks in Joe Biden's election campaign. He has a Democrat announcing that he will be Dean Phillips running against Joe Biden now, officially announced that he will be running against Joe Biden. Do you know Dean Phillips? Do you have any knowledge of any internal strife as it pertains to the Democrat side of the aisle?
No, I don't know him at all. I've never met him. But I think you're going to see more and more people step out. I think that's one reason that Gavin Newsom went over to China so he could bone up on his Democrat policies.
Yeah.
That's a bad joke. But but
well, if you know anything about Gavin Newsom, you know he has no problem boning up on his staff members, his chief of staff's wife, and so on and so forth.
Well, but you're going to see a lot more people. Joe Biden, obviously, he probably doesn't even know that Newsom was in China. They may have told him, but he would have forgot 2 minutes later.
That's right.
And you know, so this thing is unraveling fast. Now that we're back to work, Comer and them are going to just keep pounding and bringing more and more stuff forward. It's snowballing. You've got people coming out of the woodwork that understand now that this is a serious investigation. They can get whistleblower protection. And the DOJ, I do not understand why they have not gone ahead and gotten involved. Well, we all know why. Garland's not going to do it. He needs to be lined up and he needs to go as well. But Comer and them are doing a fantastic job. And Jordan, great job of bringing information to light now. So,
final question, Congressman: would you vote for impeachment based on what you've seen? What you're in the conference, like what should we expect down the line here from Republicans in the House?
Yeah, I would vote for it today. Bring it up today. I think we have enough evidence, and that's always been the thing. You don't want to have an impeachment kind of like the Trump impeachment, where it was nothing but politics. You need to have an impeachment where you have evidence, so that when you send it over to the Senate, it's like, oh God, yeah, we gotta show this. You know, there's no way of getting around it and just saying it was politics as usual. And personally, I think there is enough evidence right now that we need to go ahead and move past this and just go into an impeachment and lay the cards out there for the American people and for the Senate and make them have a trial.
Wow. So you believe that this vote will happen, and you believe that the House will vote to impeach? We won't have some 20, 25, 22 holdouts saying,
yeah,
you know,
I don't see how. You just take the $200,000 check, for instance. Mm-hmm. Now, you're talking about a guy that says he got a loan from his brother, who's a U.S. senator, doesn't even make $200,000 on his pay stub a year. You really think he had $200,000 to share? No. You know, especially when the money comes in and goes out the same day from James to Joe. Oh, yeah, it was a loan. Yeah, right. You know, it's just that laying out there so easy now. And now that they're getting the banking records, and you know, thanks to some of the Democrat moves, Sarbanes-Oxley, you know, you got SARS out there that you have to report as a banker on anything over $10,000. So all this is laying there in evidence. We've just had a hard time getting these banks and getting people to comply, and it's getting easier every day, because you didn't want to be the first person to show the bad evidence. But by God, since it's out there, man, you can pile on now, and pile on we need to do.
Dog pile on. I don't know if you're a Georgia Bulldog fan or not, but
well, I was going to say that's a great reference, man. We got a ball game tomorrow down in Florida, the usual Georgia, Florida. You know, largest cocktail party in the world. Be cranked up on Saturday. So looking forward to that.
That's right.
We are looking for a three-peat too.
We're looking forward to seeing more of your memes, sir. We say thank you for fighting the meme wars. Don't let your memes be dreams. God bless you, Congressman. Thank you. Godspeed.
Appreciate you having me on. Good talking to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it right there directly from the good congressman that Joe Biden, that impeachment vote is good as gold. Where's that saying come from, good as gold? Well, it comes from the value of gold, something that you should consider. Based on the place where the economy is going right now, there's not like a single good economic indicator. They came out with fake GDP numbers yesterday, and it was like, the GDP is really high. All of the hiring has been done by the government. All of it's done by the government. It's not real. It's all fake. It's all leverage, and the government has no money. The government's broke. You should consider investing in something other than fiat currency. That is why I encourage you to go hit up my friends at Allegiance Gold. Allegiance Gold can make sure that you are protected. Allegiance Gold can make sure that you are sorted out financially and that you have some of your investments backed by gold. Gold has been skyrocketing and doing really, really well, and they've done really well for me. So please, hit up my friends at Allegiance Gold. They're solid people. Solid gold people, you might even say. Go to protectwithbenny.com today or call 844-66-BENNY and get up to $5,000 free silver with a qualifying purchase. Don't wait. Protect your future right now with Allegiance Gold. That's protectwithbenny.com today. Go gold today. That was a golden interview. That was a golden week. Trumpism has taken over the House. Not great? What an awesome headline. Jared, you still got that? Like, what an amazing headline for us this week. This is awesome. Thanks, New York Times. Thank you, New York Times, for putting this up. That's not it. That's not it, Jerry. The New York Times article. There you go. Trumpism is running the House. Come on. Plus the meme. Plus the congressman is memeing on our show. And we were able to make sure that for the first time in American history, you had actually a Republican representing Republicans in Washington, D.C. Well, that's nice. Reminds me of the good old days when Donald Trump was president. There's a lot of good things to be buoyant about. There are a lot of things to be energized about. We're not a doom and gloom show. We're happy warriors. We're having a great time. We actually are literally having a great time. We're having a fun time. And you should join us at the Benny Brigade. Now, we know that the Benny Brigade is a real thing and that members of Congress are running to go. We had like 40 members of Congress on this week. They're running to go be part of the Benny Brigade. You can be part of the Benny Brigade today. Go to BennyJohnson.com/brigade and join the fastest growing, members only, exclusive club that supports our show, keeps us independent, and also get yourself a sweet Benny Brigade keychain made here in America. We are providing jobs. We are providing original reporting. We will be having a reporter go tomorrow to a massive protest that's going to be happening in Brooklyn. We're sending reporters out into the field to cover these things, to expose the left. Baby, we're doing it. We are out here. Be part of the Benny Brigade and walk around with the flashiest, most solid, 100% made in America leather keychain to show people that you are extremely, extremely based. Ladies and gentlemen, regardless of if you can afford to help us out or not, we say we thank you. We say, thank you for tuning in this week. It has been a monster week. We've been hustling and grinding and making sure that you have access to the information and the entertainment that you deserve, quite frankly. We need to build a better culture here. And we need to start by doing that with our cornerstones, with our true North Star, and making sure that no matter what the show is, whether it's a happy show or a sad show, we align ourselves correctly. Let us be upright. Let us read our verse of the day from Hebrews. By faith, Noah, when warned about things yet not seen, in holy fear built the ark to save his family. Noah built the ark for like 80 years. Everyone was like laughing at him. Who's laughing now? By faith, he condemned the world and became heir to the righteousness that is in keeping with faith. What's that about? Come on, man. The world's going to laugh at you. They're going to jeer at you. They're going to make fun of you. We just go build our ark. Keep building, baby. Keep building. It's good work. We're out in the sun. We're building a big old wooden ship. Kind of like the Benny Brigade, right? This is like a group of us that are here and we were prepared. And we were saying, no. We're not going to exist in your sunken, depressed, immoral, despicable, Marxist, communist, heathen ways. We're going to have something better. We're going to build something better. And we're building here, and we're keeping our eyes locked in on what actually matters. Joe Biden ain't in charge. Barack Obama ain't in charge. Klaus Schwab ain't in charge. George Soros ain't in charge. WEF ain't in charge. UN ain't in charge. They all think they're in charge, every single one of them. Get them all in a room together with a laser pointer, and you'd find out. God's in charge. These people aren't in charge. These people are humiliating degenerates. Just like every despicable and failed leader of all time, they think that they're in control, and they're not. And they will be humbled, just like the rest of them. Keep your eyes on the prize. Keep your faith strong. Become an heir to the righteousness that is keeping the faith. What a great verse. Go into your weekend uplifted. Be thankful that you live in the greatest country on earth. And be joyful. We will have victory in this life or the next. And we will have justice in this life or the next. That is promised to you. It's your boy Benny. This is The Benny Show. See ya.